Have you ever listened to a piece of music and thought, how do they make a simple idea stay relevant and engaging throughout an entire track? In this short video, I'm going to show you some easy and simple techniques to turn your basic ideas into entire arrangements with sound design and production techniques. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So let's listen to the track first. My headphones on. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to look at is the bass line. So if we look at the bass line, let's just solo it out for now. And I'm going to add a filter because we don't need some of those high frequencies. And then we'll use the filter to open up, say every 4 to 8 bars to give movement to the bass line that would otherwise not be there. So just before the first drop, we can open up the bass line, and this will signify to your listener that there's a change about to happen. So let's hear this in context. It's a very subtle opening of the bass, but you can use this on a lot of different bass lines, and obviously you can do it inside of Serum itself by just automating the filter over here. But if you don't want to do that, just add a filter to your effects chain and just automate it from there. So that's the first tip, is use a auto filter to open up your bass line. And obviously you can also automate the resonance as well. So let's say that I increase the resonance throughout this period. So that makes it have like a bitey sound. So now I'm going to move to the pluck. So we've got this preset here, which is called the 24 vibe in Serum 2. And what I've done is I've mapped macro 8 to the shift in Bode. And Bode is kind of like a instability. It sounds like instability in the sound because it's pitch shifting whilst maintaining the original pitch. So we can change the range of the shift in pitch here, and then we can actually adjust the shift as well. So I'll show you how this sounds. And what would otherwise be a boring sound, we can introduce this instability to create a variation in the sound itself. So let's accentuate it here. This is macro 8. So you can hear that it sounds like it's getting really, there's more tension in the sound. And we can do this every 4 or 8 bars, and it's just going to increase the movement of this initial sound, which will then enable you to create more movement in your whole track as well. So this is a technique that I like to use. It's called the Bode effect. So we can map this to macro 8. And in context with the whole beat, it sounds like this. When we come to this sound here, I've used a filter as well, but this time instead of opening up every 4 to 8 bars, we have the filter working over a much longer period of time, so 16 bars. And you can use this technique in electronic music to bring in elements over a long period of time. And this enables you to create a sense of movement in the track as well. So we have the shaker here as well. And I've added my wall of noise effect, which I go over in the very first video on this YouTube channel. But it's basically just a reverb and delay which I've grouped together, and I can automate the wetness of that signal. So if I come here and I automate this, we can add more noise into the sound. And we have complete control over this. So in the context of the beat. And I like to add this on pretty much every track, just to give me more control over this noise from the reverb and delay. So for example, if I add it to this shaker, and I delete the existing automations, now we can add the wall of noise to this effect as well, to this track as well. And we can even use it on this sound. Let's hear what it sounds like. And it's interesting that I use a lot of fills. So I use a lot of percussion fills in my tracks, and you can actually layer these with other sounds. So this is a conga fill. Let's say I wanted to layer it with a djembe fill. So yeah, percussion fills, drum fills, every 2 or 4 bars is a good way to add interest in this style of music as well. And we obviously have drop here. And then we also have textures, and I love to add textures and then sidechain it to your kick drum. So we've got a sidechain here. Let's add even more textures here. So let's add this texture. We have these two together now. Another thing that you can add is snare improvisation. So if I find one of our kits, we've got this marching snare one-shot kit, and play in. So I can just improvise. I liked this part here. A bit out of time though, so I need to quantize it. Put it to some reverb and turn it down a slight bit. And then you can add this in whenever you like as just another drum element. I like to use track delay as well to just take it slightly off center. So in this lesson, we've covered automations, going into different instruments and adding sound effect, sound design automations, and even improvising with one shots, and even adding textures to create interest in electronic music. So hopefully you found this beat making session useful, and I will see you in the next video for more tips and tutorials.